A new diplomatic storm is erupting in the Middle East. The world is turning sharply against Israel over a major expansion of settlements in the occupied West Bank, a move critics say could derail the fragile Gaza ceasefire and push hopes of peace even further out of reach. 14 countries have now joined forces to condemn Israel's approval of 19 new settlements in the occupied West Bank. Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Japan, and several European nations say the decision violates international law and risks destabilizing the region at a critical moment. In a rare joint statement, the countries warned that Israel's actions could undermine ongoing mediation efforts aimed at securing a second phase of the Gaza ceasefire. They described the settlement expansion as a direct threat to long-term peace and security in the Middle East. The group, including Belgium, Denmark, Italy, Ireland, Spain, Norway, and the United Kingdom, reiterated their strong opposition to any form of annexation or expansion of Israeli settlements in occupied territory. They called on Israel to immediately reverse the decision and halt all further settlement construction. The countries also reaffirmed their support for Palestinian self-determination and said a two-state solution remains the only viable path to a just and lasting peace. The statement comes as the war in Gaza has already claimed the lives of nearly 71,000 Palestinians, according to international reports, leaving diplomats racing to prevent the conflict from widening further. Israel has pushed back forcefully. Foreign Minister Gideon Saar dismissed the criticism as discriminatory, arguing that foreign governments would not restrict the right of Jews to live in what he described as the land of Israel. The settlement approval was announced by far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich, who made no attempt to soften the message. Smotrich said the plan was explicitly designed to block the creation of a future Palestinian state, referring to it as a so-called Palestinian terrorist state. He added that Israel would continue expanding settlements, citing what he called historical rights to the land. According to Israeli media, the government has approved or retroactively legalized 69 settlements since late 2022. Earlier this month, the United Nations warned that Israeli settlement expansion in occupied Palestinian territory has reached its highest level since at least 2017. The UN says all such settlements are illegal under international law and remain one of the biggest obstacles to any peace agreement, warning that continued expansion leaves little contiguous land for a viable Palestinian state. Reporting from the region, Al Jazeera correspondent Noor Odeh says the decision is rapidly changing realities on the ground, especially in the northeastern West Bank, an area that until now had seen relatively limited settlement activity. Odeh warns that these moves, though often framed as administrative or bureaucratic, are deeply strategic, empowering ideological and, at times, violent settlers. She says this has coincided with a sharp rise in attacks on Palestinians and the seizure of more land. As diplomatic pressure mounts and tensions rise, the settlement decision is emerging as a new flashpoint with serious implications for Gaza, the West Bank, and any remaining prospects for peace. On the ground, the impact is already visible. Near the town of Rabbah in the northern occupied West Bank, Israeli soldiers were filmed removing Palestinian farmers from land they say they have the right to cultivate.
Right, so yesterday we were informed by the civil liaison and the council of Qura and Waraba villages that we should go to our lands to cultivate them. Of course, these lands had been seized by the Israeli occupation. This mountain you see before you is full of olive trees and agricultural land, and the occupation reached us. We want to cultivate our land, and how much we do. They sent us sacks, expelled us, and drew their weapons on us, and as you saw what they did to us, the female soldiers started pushing us.
They drove us out of our land. They informed us there was coordination in the eastern areas. They told us there was coordination, and now the army has expelled us. Their army is even worse than their settlers. The army is worse than the settlers. They tell us there is no coordination. They forced us out of our own land. Listen, their regional official, he drove us from our land.
Violence in the West Bank has surged since the Hamas attack of October 7, 2023, triggered the Gaza war. With settlement expansion accelerating and global condemnation growing louder, the question now is whether diplomacy can still pull the region back from another dangerous escalation.